To share some of the top headlines in the fight against COVID-19. And we've gotten some more information on a story we told you about earlier this week, the Dallas County woman who died from COVID-19 while on board an airplane. 38-year-old woman Wanda Griffin passed away in New Mexico on a Spirit Airlines flight from Nevada back in July. Now, that flight was headed from Las Vegas to Dallas. It was diverted to Albuquerque International Sunport due to that emergency. Airline officials say Griffin's COVID status was not known at the time of the flight. The CDC has updated its definition of close contact. Now, originally that meant spending 15 consecutive minutes within 6 feet of somebody infected with COVID. Well, they've changed that. It is now defined as being within 6 feet of anybody with COVID for a total of 15 minutes over the course of a day. The CDC says this change highlights the importance of continuing to wear a mask. Health officials have given their recommendations on how you can keep yourself and your kids safe this upcoming Halloween. Doctors say wear a mask that has 2 layers of cloth. And if you want to keep everybody happy, you can maybe find a way to coordinate the mask to match whatever your child is wearing for their costume. Of course, staying 6 feet away from people in their homes while collecting candy is also still important. All right, Governor Greg Abbott made a visit to North Texas yesterday. His plan was to support Representative Craig Goldman in his run-up to the election. But the comments the governor made about COVID are what people are talking about today. Saying good morning to Chris Sadeghi, who is live in Dallas, because, Chris, it seems Governor Abbott is very optimistic about a vaccine being available hopefully soon.
And Mark, ending the pandemic has always been very closely tied to whenever we can get that vaccine. The question has been exactly that, a matter of when. And the governor is giving a very optimistic timeline. Greg Abbott was in Benbrook yesterday helping campaign for his fellow Republicans in Tarrant County, meeting some neighbors out there. COVID-19 cases are on the rise across the state, including Tarrant County, where Health Department Director Vinny Taneja said we could be in for a rough fall and winter with just as many cases as we saw early on at the peak of the pandemic. But despite the state's distribution plan that's expecting a vaccine about next summer, Governor Abbott said a vaccine for the most vulnerable population could be ready to go as early as next month. And the vaccine isn't the only thing on the way in the next month to help fight COVID.
Some very promising things coming down the pike, maybe as early as later this month, definitely next month. The drug Regeneron, as well as some other, they have antibody therapies that are coming that the states like Texas will have available that will allow us to more quickly treat people who have COVID.
And despite the recent surge in cases, if you will remember, it was earlier this month when Governor Abbott did go forth with the reopening of the state by allowing bars to resume operation at 50% capacity. He gave no indication that he plans on reversing that at all, saying that TABC is out there aggressively enforcing those restrictions, making sure that the capacity limits are being followed. Earlier this week, there were 2 bars in the area, one in Dallas and one in Fort Worth, that had their liquor license suspended for 30 days. Mark, back to you.